Hello everybody. Alright, we are going to learn how to play Hexcells Infinite. So we're going to do the tutorial here, and I will show you how to play and how to get no mistakes on every single puzzle. So we're going to start with slot number 3. I've already done slot number 1 with completely no mistakes, and I'm going to teach you how to do it with number 3. So we'll go here. So we're going to start with this puzzle, and basically what it's telling you is this is lesson 1. Lesson 2 will be right here, lesson 3, and so on all the way around to lesson 6. There's 514 points, if you will, and each one of these is going to give you a certain amount of points. So we're going to start with number 1-1. We're going to play that. This is the simplest puzzle, and basically what it's telling you in the very beginning is it tells you how many blue hexes there's going to be, and there's 11 of them, and how many mistakes that we've made. And we're going to try to keep this to 0 every single time. So this is a basic puzzle, and it tells you down here, if you want it to turn blue, you left click it. If you want to turn black, you right click it. So black means there's nothing around it. So this one would be a good example of all of these squares around it being black, because there's 0 blue squares. So this tells you how many blue squares. This one tells you also how many blue squares, or not squares, hexes. So there's 6 blue hexes in this one, and there's 0 blue hexes in this one. So we're talking about blue, so let's just go ahead and click using our left mouse button to click blue. So you just click each one of these. And conversely, we're going to hit black, which is the right mouse button for these. And this is just showing us that that's how you do it. And then this last one, as you can see, now we have 5 more tiles to go. So in this particular example, I'll go the high view. There's 2 blue cells around here, 2 blue hexes. So 2 of these 6 are going to be blue, and 4 of these 5 are going to be blue, and 3 of these are going to be blue. Well, by deduction, we can tell with the 3, these 3 are going to be blue, so we're going to click these with our left mouse button. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. And as you notice, this 3 didn't disappear. It stayed there, and it's just telling you that these 3 hexes are now clicked, and it didn't tell you anything else other than that. Now, if you look at this 2, we know that 2 of these are blue, and by clicking these 3 on down here, these 2 are shared by this 2. So that means all 4 of these are going to be black, and to click it black, you're going to need to right click. So right click on each one of these. Now I should have gone slower, but that first one we clicked says that there's 1 blue tile around this one. 1 blue hex. And in fact, there is 1 blue hex. This 1 is referring to this block. This 2 is referring to these 2 blocks. And now it's saying there's 4 around this 4. So we already have 1 blue one, 2 blue ones, so this must be 3 and 4. And if you look up here, it tells you we have 2 left. So 3 and 4. And because we didn't make any mistakes, it gave us 3 of these squares. And if you look up here, it says remaining 0, mistakes 0. So it keeps track for you. So we're going to go and we're going to do the next one. So we know black is right click. So we know that there's 0 blacks around this square or this hex. So these two are going to be black. And then there's 0 around this hex. So it must be these two right here. Alright, so we are going to move on because we're at an impasse. We're going to do the same thing up here with this 0. So we're going to say 0 is a right click, so these two will be right clicked. Now we'll start just kind of at the top here. So 2 of these are going to be blue. So 2 of them are going to be blue. So those 2 will be blue. And this one says 1 of these 4 are going to be blue. Well, we already have this one. This is shared with this 2. So this has to be black. And now this one is telling us out of these 4, 1 is going to be blue. So these 2 here are going to be black. And this makes sense because if this one was black, this one was going to be 0 because these 2 are black. So now this 1 is sharing this blue one with this 1 and this one. So this must be black here. And now we're at 2. So there's 2 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4 squares, 2 of them are going to be blue. We already have the 2 that are blue. You're going to click there. This one's saying 1 of these 2 are going to be blue. So we already know this one is, so this one has to be black. This is going to be a 0. And now we have a little bit of an impasse here. So one of these 2, or actually one of these 3, 1, 2, 3, are going to be blue. Well, this one we already know is black. So one of these is going to be blue, and that will take care of this one of these 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4, our 1 is going to be blue, and one of these 2 is going to be blue, and that will satisfy this 2 hex right here. So since we can't pick, it's not a pick game like it is with Minecraft where you kind of pick. It's 100% logical. There is a way to solve every puzzle with logic every single time. And because we can't figure out which one of these are blue and which one of these are blue, that would be guessing. We can't guess in this game. We have to work on something over here. So this one of these 2, we don't know. That would be a guess. One of these 3, or 1. This one is the only one touching it that doesn't have a black mark on it, so this one has to be blue. So this one now shares this one's blue. So these 2 are going to be black because of this one blue square here. So these 2 will be black. And then this one has to be blue because of this 1 and this 1. So now this one says this guy is blue, this one will be black. And because this 1 is already got 1, this one has to be black. A 0, this one has to be black. Okay, so now we're going to come back to this 1 and this 1. So now we're saying there's 2. Out of these 6, there's 2. One of the 2 is going to be here, and one of the 2 is going to be here. That would mean that this one is black and this one is black because there's 2 total. 1, 2. So these 2 are definitely going to be black. And now we have some more information. This is a 0, so that means these two are black. And now we have 2 remaining. This is a 1, and this is a 1. 100% non-guessing and logical. Moving on to this puzzle, there's 13 here, and don't let the size scare you. It's very big, but there's enough information here, and when we start clicking, we're going to understand that there's a lot that we can gain from just clicking with these 2 squares. So we have a 1 here, so one of these 6 are going to be blue, and 5 of these 6 are going to be blue. So just based on that alone, we know that because there's 6 hexes around this 5, so one of these is going to be a blue, and one of them, or 5 are going to be blue, and 1 is going to be black. So we already know that 1, if this one is black, then this one has to be blue. All the rest have to be blue. If this one is black, all the rest have to be blue. If this one is blue, if this one is black, all of these would have to be blue, which would make this untrue because there would be 2 blue here. So the black one has to be one of these 2, and the blue has to be the other one, which would make this 1 count one of these 2. So these 4 are black. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we have a little bit of information. And conversely, because these 4 are black, these 4 are going to be blue. Because we already determined that the 1 is going to be here, and the other one is going to be here as well. So these will be blue, 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 blue. Now we're down to 9. Okay, so we're going to pull some of these numbers. So 1, it's not a guessing game, we can't choose. This 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, it could be 4 choices. This 1 could be one of these 2. This 1 could be 1, 2, 3, 4, could be any of these 4. But this 2, this one has to be blue, and this one has to be blue. And that would mean that because of this 1 already has this, and this are all black. We're going to come down here. Here's a 1. We're going to make this one black. This one already has a blue. This one's going to be black. This one needs a blue. So here's the blue. This one needs 2. It already has its 2, so these will be black. This one already has a blue. So this one will be black. This 3, 1, 2, 3, there's only one option. This one will be black. This 1, there's your 1. These 2 will be black. Same here. This 1 already has its 1, so these 2 will be black. This 3 is already satisfied. 1, 2, 3. So this one will be black. This 1 already has 1, so these 3 will be black. We're down to 5. This one now has been eliminated, so this one's going to be blue. This one here, this one has to be blue because there's only one option for that. This 3 already has 3. 1, 2, 3. So this one will be a black. Alright, so now we have these 3 here for this 3. And we are not going to guess. That would be a guess because we can't logically figure these 3 out. So we're going to start in a different place. So here's a 1. This one has to be blue. And that would satisfy this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like we had in the beginning. And then this 1 there. And now this 1 has these 3 are going to be black. and this one will be blue. We have just one left up here in the remaining. So this one doesn't have a blue out of these 4 hexes. So this one has to be blue. And because this 3 has already the 3, this has to be black. Now here's an important task that you need to do. So there's no more blue remaining, and we didn't make any mistakes, but you do have to fill in every single square with something, whether it's a blue or a black. And we already have the 3 here, so this one must be black, and we have to click it. So this one's black. We got 12 total, so we're going to continue. Alright, so these are little puzzles. So this one says if there's brackets, then the colors, the blues are consecutive. So this 3 says that there has to be 3 in a row. So the only place we could put 3 in a row would be 1, 2, 3. And then these 2 would have to be black because there's only 3. Okay? This one says that there's 2 in a row. Well, here's the first one, and it could be this one, or it could be this one. Can't be both, but it could be this one, or it could be this one. But we know definitely it's not this one, and it's not this one. So we're going to right-click these to call these black. And this one says 0, so that's easy. That's a freebie. We're going to take this and we're going to right-click it to black. This 1 is satisfied by this, and this 2 has 2 here, and this 1 will just only have this 1 here. Alright, so similar to this one where we did some deduction, we have a 3 and a 2. Well, this 2 has to start either here and here, or here and here. And because this 2 shares a common hex that has to be blue, this one has to be blue. But we can't guess on these 2, and that's what it wants us to do. So we'll move on to another area, which the only other area is this 3. So we're going to go 1, they have to be consecutive, 2, 3, and then these 2 will be black. And because this is a 0, this one's going to be black, this one's going to be black, and this one is going to be black. And now we know that these 2 consecutive ones are here and here. And again, we have 1 remaining. We have to clear every yellow square with either a black or a blue. So we're going to call this one blue. Alright, we're going to move on to the next. Okay, so there's 13 blue in this puzzle, and we're going to start down here where the free ones are, and we're going to just get all the free ones first. So anywhere there's a 0, we're going to right click all the way around it. And we're going to do this fairly quickly. So these are all zeros, 1, 2, 3. And we're already at a stopping point because this would be a guess, and this one would be a guess. And also this one would be a guess. So we know if it's this one, it cannot be this one, and it would be this one. So it would be this one, and this one, or this one, and this one. Same reasoning. So we really can't get this because it's a guess. This one says that there's 2 consecutive. And like that last puzzle, we can't click this one because there's nothing touching it. So this one cannot be the consecutive one. But this one could. So it could be here and here, or here and here. So this one has to be blue. And this one has to be black. So we're not going to guess. We're not guessing that. We're not guessing that. But we have a 0 here. We can do these free ones. Free, free, free. This one says 2, so it has to be these two. This one says 1. We've already got our 1, so it's right click, right click. This 1 has to be a blue here. This 1 is already here, so we're going to call these black. And let's see what else we have. We have a 3 and a 2. Okay, so if we tried to get this one, we're guessing. It could be either one of these two. But this 2 says we have 1 here, and 1 here. But only one of these could be a 2. So if this one was a blue, these two would be black. And then for this 2, it wouldn't make sense because this one would be blue and there would be 2 black here, and that would only be 1. So that can't possibly, this one cannot possibly be blue. Because if it was, this would be false with this. So we're going to say that this one is black. And because we have a 1 down here, we know this is blue. This has to be blue. One of these, according to this, has to be blue. So this one has to be blue, because one of these has to be black. Alright, let's move on. One of these is blue. One of these is blue. One of these is blue because of this 2. But if one of these is blue, that would satisfy this. So this one cannot possibly be blue. This one has to be black. So now we have a hint here that says we have 3 in a row. The brackets, remember, mean 3 in a row. So we have 1 here. So it's got to be this one and this one. And these 2 have to be black. So now this 2 is saying, well, both of these 2 are saying this one has to be blue, along with this 2. So this 2, this 2, and this 2 all say that this one has to be blue. This is satisfied. Now we have to turn this one to black. This one is a 1. That's on. And we're going to go up this way. So going up this way, we have a 3. So this one has to be black because we already have our 3. That 2 is okay. So we have a 2 here. So we already have the 2. This has to be black. This one has to be black. This one has to be black. This one's saying there's a 1 out of these 2. So this one has to be blue. Now we've satisfied this thing, which is 2 consecutive, 1, 2. So this one has to be black. And now you have 1, so this one has to be black. This one's a freebie. This one's a freebie. And now we have 2. So it has to be, this has to be blue. And now this 3 says 1, 2, 3. This one has to be black. And we have 1 left and 1 square left and a 3. 1, 2, 3. So this one has to be blue. Alright, we're perfect so far with no misclicks so far. And we're going to play the last puzzle and then we're going to cut it short. So here's the next puzzle. Let's take a look. Alright, so same thing with this one. So we know, remember we were saying that if we have a 2 that's consecutive and there's 3 blocks around it, it has to be the middle one. Because it's either this one and this one, or this one and this one. So this one has to be blue. And we don't know, we're not going to guess which one these 2 are, but that 1 blue helped us out here. So these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, are all going to be black. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a free one. We have a 0. So these 2 are both black. And we have a 1 here. So these 2 have to be black. And we already have our 2 up here consecutive. So the 2 consecutive would be here and here. And this 2 consecutive also states that those have to be there and there. And then that would mean for this, these 2 would have to be black. And now we have 3 consecutive. Well, we already have the first one, second one, third one, so this one has to be black. And then this one is right here. So that would satisfy that one. Now this piece here, there's no color and there's no block. So that would mean that this 1 would have to be here. So this doesn't count as anything. So this 1 says that this has to be blue. These 2 spots here that are empty squares. So this one has to be blue. So we have a 4 here, and we're going to say that these 4 are all part of this 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says this 2 is consecutive. So it has to be this one and this one, or this one and this one. And it cannot possibly be this. So this is black. And this is a freebie. Zeros are free, so you're just going to right click all the way around it if it's a 0. That means that this 2 is consecutive. We know that this one has to be blue. This 1, we know this has to be blue based on that 1. And then now we've got this 1 here. These 2 have to be black. And just to double check, these 2 would also mean that this is black. So black there and black there. So now we have a 2 here. This is 1. We're not going to count this square. These are 3 black. So this one has to be blue. This 2, these 2 satisfy this 2. So these 2 are going to be black. This 1 is satisfied by this 1. We're going to right click this one to get it to be black. A freebie. This one's black. Alright, this 2 says that there's 2 around it. We don't count this spot down here. So this one has to be blue and this one has to be blue. And we have a 5 which are consecutive. So there's 5 consecutive, and that would make sense. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're all consecutive. So the most you could actually have is a 6. Right? So if one of these was a 6, I guess this one, if this was 6, all of the ones around it would be 6. Okay, so we have a 2 here that's consecutive. We already have that, so this is going to be black. And we're at a guess. So we don't know which ones of these will be on or off. It could be this one. Excuse me. So what I do is when I'm at a stopping point here, I just start at one of the ends and I start working my way around the puzzle. So there's nothing here. We already know, excuse me, that these 3 we can have to guess on those. This would be a guess. But this one here, as we're going up the puzzle, says 3. So it has to be this one, and this one. This 2 is now satisfied. This 1 is now satisfied. This one has to be black. And now we are at this position. So with this 3 here, out of these last 3, 2 of these have to be on. So that would mean if these 2 are on, this would not be a 1. If these 2 are off, this would be true. It could be true, but this would be false, because then this one would be on, and these 2 would be black. So we know that this 3, one of these is going to be on, and one of these is going to be off. So this one has to be on. And because one of these is on and one of these is off, that would satisfy this 1 here. So these 2 on the outsides here have to be black. Okay, so if we picked here, it would be a guess. If we picked here, it would be a guess. We're just going to go around the puzzle. So we have our 2 consecutive. So it has to be this middle one here. It has to be on. This would be a guess at this point. We're going to go around the puzzle. This 2 already has 2, so these have to be black. This 2 already has its 2. This should be a 1. This should be a 0. And this should be a 1. Or no, we don't know what this one is. This one's going to be a 1 or a 2. If it's a 1, it's just this one, and this one would be black. If it's a 2, then these 2 consecutive would be blue. So we're going to right-click this one because we know it's black. And it's a 2. So these 2 are the consecutive and the 2 for this one. So this one has to be black. And we have a blue here. And that would satisfy this 3 and this 3. So this is blue and this 1. And then this one has to be black. So there you go. We've done all 6 puzzles. We're going to go back to the menu and just take a quick gander here. So we have 28, I guess, gold stars. We've completed this puzzle all the way around. And our next Hexcells Infinite class will be these. And I will show you, no, I'm not going to show you. We'll learn about these next video. Alright, well, thank you very much. We've been going for 31 minutes. It is my birthday today. For another 45 minutes because it's 11:30 or 11:15 or so. And we'll see you next time around. Thank you for stopping by.